Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Happy Saturday. Hope you're having an amazing weekend. We're just going to take a quick peek here at Bitcoin. I just kind of see what's going on. Obviously, look at traditional markets. We're going to redraw out some Fibonacci retracement levels, kind of go with a larger time frame because, again, this kind of outgrew its previous parameters of that 2x from the original increase we saw somewhere from 16,000 to 18,000 range, right? So we'll look at that and much more. Of course, if you are new to the channel, just know I'm not a financial advisor. I really do love teaching people to trade. I hope you can learn something here today. And obviously, if you want to learn a lot more, cryptocash.tech is a site linked down below. You can learn how to become a better trader. Again, that's cryptocash.tech. You can register and effectively join my community here. We have some awesome traders. We've got some really good profits here recently too. Nice 54% from Ethereum, Litecoin 58%, 86 from Near. All those trades are closed now based on the fact that we hit our trailing take profit targets. And for lack of better terms, we're seeing a lot more longs as we're shorts. Okay, so shorts are getting kind of wrecked right now. We'll talk a little bit about that also. But just know if you want to become a better trader, of course, and you want to have a really good exchange at your back, Bitget is the best exchange possible. $10,000 prize pool monthly on average. And for the most part, when it comes to that competition, it's really just based on profit and loss ratio and trading volume. So pretty easy to qualify. You just got to use the link down below. You will need a VPN, of course, to register because that's just kind of how any exchange that uses leverage is kind of structured. But you do get 3 months extra free for an Express VPN membership there, if you decide you want to use that link as well. So check that out. Obviously, thank you Express and Bitget for making our community a much better place. So speaking of community, how are we doing, right? Well, at this point, we're waiting for Bitcoin to kind of decide where it wants to go. It definitely decided it wants to go up yesterday, broke through that resistance level as anticipated. But unfortunately, we're expecting a little more resistance at that level, and it didn't really happen, right? So this range here at about 21,500, it resisted about 3 or 4 days in a row, but didn't hold, continued to break right straight through, likely a strong short squeeze with some hedged longs. So for lack of better terms here, we're in definitely good shape with Bitcoin, but I do recommend being cautious and careful with long positions right now, because once again, when things kind of just go off like this, we got to look at kind of some key level resistances and find out if it's going to continue to run, right? So let's talk about the traditional markets first. We look at NASDAQ, we can see nice 2.5% day. Same with S&P as well, close to 2%. So honestly, things are looking pretty good in the regular markets. Dollar index is kind of drawing dead. So for lack of better terms, as dollar index continues to go down, we're still seeing Bitcoin go up, right? Now, we never got that CME gap completely filled, so keep in mind that could still be a reality for the price to come back down to the 19,000, 20,000 range there to fill that gap, okay? So I don't personally feel like we're just fully bullish now, but I love the fact that we are seeing a lot of bullish qualities and traditional markets are doing well in addition to altcoins. But what's interesting, though, is just Bitcoin dominance is increasing consistently, whereas a lot of alts are still maintaining their price, okay? So it leads me to believe there's going to be some profits being taken on some altcoins. So be kind of careful in what you're trading. Do be careful in the sense of just not going heavy in the shorts right now, because I'll talk about that in a moment. But it just doesn't seem appropriate to do a lot of short positions at this moment. So, anyways, that's kind of the state of the market right now, right? So generally good, generally positive. So we can expect Bitcoin to probably continue to run at least for a little bit longer, but I've got to recognize we're roughly at about 89, almost 90 on the RSI. Okay, so that's extremely overextended once more. Hasn't had enough time to calm down while this is a nice little 3 or 4 day period. Really, truly wasn't enough. Okay, so I recommend, again, waiting just a little bit longer before you decide you want to go short or long. Once again, that's just me personally. I'm more of a patient trader. I like to take good trades when I take them instead of just kind of jumping in and jumping out. Day trading, different story. But if we're looking at all the moving averages, etc., nothing's really changed here. It's still the same narrative where we can see all the moving averages averaging themselves up. 19,500 is roughly the range in which that 200-day SMA is hanging out. So if we do have the price come back down to that area once more, we should still see a lot of support in the 19 to 20,000 range. Okay, so I'm not super concerned if the price comes back down, but I kind of want it to come back down so we can get not only a better entry, but a better long position, because right now it's hard to really want to get into something that's overextended. That's just me personally. I kind of shy away from that, just because it carries a higher risk. Could turn right around on us. But let's take a look at the 4 hour and kind of see if this is a continuation. We're kind of at an 8 right now in TD sequential, basically telling us that we've seen around in the range of about 32, 36 hours of continuation to the upside. That is, it's never stopping, right? It just continues to go. So if it continues like it's going right now, we are almost at a 9. We should hypothetically see a pullback soon. It's because, again, you see this here. If you look back previously, again, this is, I wouldn't say an anomaly, but that's when we had that short squeeze occur after that. Well, you see this 9 on TD sequential. We can see the price action comes up to a 9, consolidates for a few days, or roughly a half a day, and then continues higher. All right. So typically when you see a 9 on TD sequential, it's supposed to turn around or go sideways. So one of the two things will happen. We'll see this price consolidate right here at this support range about 23,000. Or if it loses that level, then we can expect the price to come back down to maybe retest 21.5. I personally would like to add to my position at 21.5. That'd be a nice little place to do that. So, to me, I'll go ahead and set an alert just here in the 21.7 range. Kind of get feedback here if the price comes back down there. That's usually a good place to go long. And again, the reason why is because the most recent high, the most recent relevant high, is going to work as a most recent low, or essentially the previous resistance turn support. So we're hoping for that area there to work itself out. Again, stranger things can happen. We can see the price continue higher from here. There's a lot of new money coming into the market. But generally speaking, we shouldn't experience a tremendously much larger increase this weekend just based on traditional markets being closed and kind of that residual effect. Okay, but again, do not short going into the weekend either, because traditionally weekends are green if we have a strong week leading into it. Because the overall mindset right now, a lot of people that have the fear of missing out are getting in, right? And they're the ones driving the price up right now, not the market movers who drove the price up yesterday to squeeze out these shorts. Okay, so generally just some things to kind of think about. If we take a look at the RSI, still overextended on the 4 hour. So we got an 8 on TD sequential, overextension on the 4 hour, overextended on the daily. Pullback would make sense, okay? Again, significant pullback, maybe not, but enough to come back down to the 21.6, 21.7 range? I think so. I think there's a possibility of that. That's ultimately what I'm looking for. I'd like to get an entry right here at the most recent high, 21.7, 21.8 range. Take a look at the hourly. We can kind of see a very similar narrative here. Once again, came up to a 9. I covered this. We were right here at an 8 yesterday when we reviewed the video, saying if we retest this level too many times, it's going to break. It definitely did. You can see this sharp increase right here. That is basically a lot of shorts getting liquidated. And of course, them hedging their shorts with longs. The price continues higher, comes up to this resistance area, and we're hitting a 9, and now we're still moving upwards. So even though we got a little reset here in this area, still not enough to warrant this continued increase. So hypothetically, I feel like we should see maybe 4 to 8 more hours before the next pullback, and the price should decrease from here. That would make the most sense considering the overall sense of where we're at, overextended on every single time frame. It has to come to an end, right? So that being said, if we see that there and we take a look at the cloud, all green lights here to leave your long position open. There's that as well. Okay, so you don't necessarily have to close your longs, but if you're going to consider closing them or something, you probably want to wait another 12 to 24 hours to see where the price is at. This time tomorrow, the price should still be in this area. Even though it's overextended, it doesn't necessarily have to pull back. It just needs to go sideways. That's going to go ahead and help us allow for it to price to go higher. Okay, so again, good stuff here from Bitcoin. I really don't see anything that's adverse or negative. I don't think it's an ideal situation to short right now. I'd wait maybe 24 hours and kind of see where things are at. There's a good chance we'll see some profits taken early next week. It just kind of feels like that. But again, it's hard to really say and get a read on the market right now because a lot of positive things are happening, but a lot of them don't make a tremendous amount of sense based on a technical standard, right? So overall, I'm not upset with what I see. I love the fact that Bitcoin is doing well. Traditional markets are nice. I do recommend taking some profits on some trades if you have them open, just because we don't know how soon that pullback will be or how hard it will be. There has to be some kind of correction in the relative near future, but for right now, this looks like it's a lot stronger than originally expected, and the fact that it's continuing higher, honoring these ascending trends, staying above moving averages, even though it's overextended, it's still a moderately healthy overextension. All right, so again, there is that. So I think there's more likelihood we're going to see further upside than downside, but I think that a correction to the 21.5, 21.8 range would seem appropriate, so we can actually have a nice, healthy continuation upwards instead of a swift drop in the near future, because these sharp increases, while they're nice, they are usually followed by significant decreases as well. So just be mindful of that. I'm not a subscriber to the sub 15,000 range. I think that the bottom is in, but I do think we're due to see a correction and maybe a retest of these ranges here in the relative near future. Again, that's kind of where we're at. hopefully that made sense for you, and that's kind of where we're going. Let me know if you have any questions. Obviously, comment below if you want to become a better trader. CryptoCash.tech is the site. Looking forward to work with you. Have yourself a great rest of your day and a wonderful weekend. We'll see you next one.